another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
So what do you think? Is it going to be an exciting episode today?
It's going to be a long episode. I don't know about exciting.
Yeah. A lot of agenda items on here
We
today.
have to pack a lot of information to a one-week show.
We do
So,
have to, yeah.
a lot of
For a
information.
while, I thought Lisa was not going to be on the show today.
Yeah, there was that possibility.
And so I came with the idea that I would have to be the funny one for a change.
Oh.
But now that she's here,
She can be the funny one.
Yes.
Go ahead, Lisa, say something funny.
It just doesn't work that way.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't work that way. I can't do it on cue.
We're spontaneous.
Exactly.
You know, it has to be provoked. It's not just something that you just do, right?
That's right.
If you
That's
say
right.
a certain word, she'll
Ken, don't go
don't go
there.
there. Okay.
Don't
Wisconsin.
go there.
Wisconsin. That's it.
See, that's not funny. You got to do better than that, Tom.
All right. I thought you were going to say like cheesehead or something. I don't know what
Well,
you were
that
going
would
to
have been a
say.
good response.
Yeah, okay. All right. Or, go Pack because, they're playing this weekend.
Are they?
So, yeah. Oh, I can see you're a real good,
I really
fan
don't
of
watch
the-
sports.
Yeah, you don't.
I
do you?
don't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, happy Wednesday afternoon, everybody.
Yes.
It's hard, in some ways, it's hard to believe it's Wednesday afternoon.
I know.
I used to say after the first few days this week,
It's
it feels like it's Saturday afternoon.
it's been
a
another
long
rough
week.
week. It has.
been a long
Yes. Yes.
So
It's
we're
emotionally draining.
yeah, that's what it is.
I think that's really what it is.
Yeah,
It's highs and lows right now.
Yes,
and-
and it's all over the place.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's hump day. It's hump day. So
It is.
This
It
is
is.
hump and bump day, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, Lisa and I kid a little bit sometimes about it being a roller coaster ride, and wow, I mean, every day
It
we can hit
is.
highs and lows. I mean, it's
Yep.
amazing how that happens. So,
Yep, for sure.
okay, well, let's see. We're going to start out with something fun today, right?
Yes,
We got a trivia
yes.
question today.
For a nice bottle of wine, 2014 Merlot.
Oh,
2014 was a very good year, especially compared to 2020.
that's for sure.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the trivia today is from Eric Stallnecker, and
Thank
the
you,
wonderful bottle of wine, yes. And Michelle is off today, so we're calling Brian. And I think everybody knows Brian's number, but we're going to repeat it anyway, just in case.
What are we calling Brian today?
We're going to call him Brian.
Okay, excellent,
Yep.
excellent.
When he answers, he'll say, "Hello, this is Brian. Do you have an answer today?"
Or you could call him Brian the Magnificent, or Brian the Fantastic, or what else, Brian? What else you like to be called? That's all. That's enough?
That's enough.
It's
Okay.
enough.
Okay. So the number to get a hold of Brian, which I know you all know this from bingo and everything else, 336-389-4111. He has like the easiest number here, I think.
It is.
4111. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Easy
Like an
one.
information number, and he's
Yes.
kind of like his information.
Exactly.
isn't he? So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question from Eric Stallnecker. What is the rest of the title to the following noontime radio soap opera? Lorenzo Jones and...
Now, did we
Fill
say
in the
what
blank.
caller? Did we say what caller we were going to take? We're going to take the first caller this time?
Brian would like it to be the first, but
All right.
why don't we challenge him?
Let's do second at least. Second.
Second caller.
Second caller. You're the first caller.
Okay,
All
so I
right.
think everybody knows it. What is the rest of the title to the following noontime radio soap opera? Lorenzo Jones and... fill in the blank.
There you go. Fill in the blank.
Yes.
All right.
I did not know there was noontime soap operas on the radio.
Yeah, and I thought his name was...
That was new to me. I didn't know that.
I thought he was Indiana Jones, too. That's,
He's not.
yeah.
He's not.
And it's no relation to Michelle Jones either, I understand.
I'm
not.
completely lost.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Yep.
Okay, well, while Brian's the Magnificent is answering the phones here, let's go over the latest North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services dashboard
Okay.
for the coronavirus. So some mixed news, I think, in here. Let's see, we were on last Thursday, so it's been 6 days since I reported. In those 6 days, 383,151 tests have been completed. That's about 64,000 a day. And out of that 383,000, we've had just about 40,000 positive cases, which is about 10.4%. So that percentage has come down a little bit, so that's good. That's a good sign. We're happy to see that. Another really good sign is that the number of people hospitalized has dropped from last week. We were at 3,990 last week, 3,990 last week. This week we're at 3,740. So if that's right, which it should be, then that's a drop of 250 people. That's great. It'd be nice to start seeing that go the other way now. Let's hope that's the case. Unfortunately, though, we did have 375 additional deaths since last Thursday, bringing the total to 8,200 deaths here in North Carolina. The cases per 100,000, this is the other thing I kind of look at because it kind of gives us more of the specific county type thing. And remember, it's a rolling 14 days on this. So last week, you might remember, the last 2 weeks, it has pushed up. Well, it's kind of even out now this week. So Forsyth went from 905 last week to 931. Again, these are cases per 100,000 in the last 14 days. So they went from 905 to 931, which is plus 26. Guilford was at 968 last week. They're at 968 again this week. So it's actually stayed even. Durham went from 731 last week to 728 this week, so a small decrease. Wake had the biggest jump. Wake went from 918 last week to 989 this week. That's a plus 71. And then Mecklenburg County actually dropped. They were at 1,082 last week. They're at 1,043 this week, so that's about 39. So maybe we've hit this crest and we're starting to come down. Maybe the hospitalizations, are a sign of that. Maybe the positive cases are a sign of that. We just know it's around us. I mean, it's just no question about that. It's around us. Yeah. So beyond that, let's see. As far as nursing homes and residential care facilities, we have, there's been, since the start of COVID, there's been 40,185 positive cases in nursing homes and residential care facilities. That's 5.8% of the total. 3,723 of the 8,200 deaths in the state have come from nursing homes and retirement communities. That's 45.4%. And then we saw another increase in the number of congregate living outbreaks last week. We went from 672 to 683 this week. That's a lot of outbreaks, unfortunately. And we know that. All of our communities are fighting this right now, every single one of them, and this is just a continuous problem across the state and across our country, I dare say. So, then the other thing that we're starting to track for you all is that they also give a report on people vaccinated in North Carolina, and so from last week to this week, an additional 106,000 North Carolinians have gotten the first dose. So we're up to 344,456. If you do 344,456 divided by the population of North Carolina, that's 3.3% of the state that has now been vaccinated. And we know that's going to be low to start. We're just getting going here, but it's starting to show a little bit. So, and then the completed vaccines, we're at 60,073. Well, that doesn't surprise me because really, January is where really most of the vaccinations really started in North Carolina. So those second shots, as we know, are at least 21 days if it's the Pfizer, or 28 days if it's the Moderna vaccine after the first one. So, by this time next month, we should be easily at the 344,456 that'll be done with their second dose. And won't that be nice for all of us? Because this time next month, we'll all have had our second one as well at that point. So I'm very happy about that. So we're getting there. We're, not just as a community, which we're doing very well as a community as far as the vaccinations, but getting there as far as the state goes is another big deal as well. So hopefully we can kind of continue that process to keep moving forward. So Lisa, I think that leads us to going back now into
More River Landing.
Yes. Now
Yes.
and where we are. And so, we've got some good news and not so good news to report. Again, this roller coaster ride. So, the good news is that in the healthcare center now, we are 2 weeks now removed and have not had any additional positive cases in our residents in the healthcare center. So
great.
that is huge, that's wonderful, and we hope that we can continue that now. That's a big deal for us. And the healthcare residents also went through the vaccination process last week. Does it not feel like last week was six weeks ago?
Seems like weeks ago.
Yeah, it just, for us, some of us, it just feels
But
like
it
it was a
really
long
was just
time ago.
last week.
It was just last week.
Yep.
But all of our healthcare, I think all of our healthcare residents last week that could get it, got it last
Right,
week.
right.
So, the longer we get past that initial date, the more of that immunity starts building up in your body. So, and we've been told, and we know this, that we can get up to 70% efficacy after the first shot, once we reach the 28th day.
Right.
So, so I'm hoping that maybe we're going to be, we can kind of stave off anymore in the healthcare center side. Staff last week in the healthcare center was also negative. We did have one therapist that tested positive, but very limited exposure there. So we felt very blessed about that. We tested yesterday for our first round of tests for healthcare staff yesterday. We won't know that until tonight or early tomorrow morning. So we'll let you know that when we get that. That's the good news. On the bad news side, Lisa, we have gone 10 months here with only really having 2 couples that have gotten tested positive for the coronavirus.
Right.
And now we just seem to be hitting a string here. The last 3 or 4 days, we have had 5 residents who have tested positive. We have another resident that's connected to one of the residents that's positive that's showing some symptoms. So we're assuming that they're probably going to end up positive as well. But we don't know that. So officially it's 5. But it's just been, unfortunate that we're seeing an uptick on the independent living side.
Right.
And we've done our best. We've done all the contact tracing. We've notified all the people that we need to notify. So if you haven't been notified and you're not in any position to worry about it at this point, obviously all those folks are quarantined now, and anybody that might have had connection to them, we've already reached out to them. They're quarantining if they have to at this point. So we've done all that at this point. But you never know. I mean, and we were trying to figure out, is there some sort of commonality between them that helped us try and figure it out? Our first thought was, could it have happened at the vaccine clinic last week? Because that was we know that with that many residents coming together at one time, that there could be a possibility that we might have some spread. But the people that have COVID are ones that, even though they did get the vaccine, they pushed right through. I mean, there wasn't even a line for most of them that went through. They actually got through and got back. So it doesn't make any sense that would have been the place that they got it. So, I think, unfortunately, we may not ever really know where these folks are getting it from. And it could be that it's all various different ways that they got it. We know that outside of River Landing, it's very prevalent out there. So anything's possible, right?
Right. Yep.
And then besides the 5 residents that have tested positive, we also had 2 staff members who have tested positive over here on the independent living side. Both actually developed it the same day, it looks like, or at least that's when their symptoms started. So we've had to send a couple people home and quarantine, besides those 2 who are home recovering with what I would call minor symptoms, I think both of them. We had to send a couple people home out of here. One of those people, though, and this is what led to what we did last night, one of the staff members that tested positive was a staff member over in the Water's Edge. And so we found that out about early afternoon yesterday. And so we quickly kind of grouped together and did a quick massive testing of all of our staff over in Water's Edge, to include even going into the kitchen area and the bistro and the creamery. So we just decided we're going to test we're going to test all of them over there. And so far, we're still testing a few who weren't able to come yesterday, but not too many. We got most of them now. And so far, everybody's been negative. So, we felt good. Even though we closed down, just to be precautionary, we closed down the restaurant last night. We've been running normal today. And, unless we have something that comes up that tells us otherwise, we're going to keep things rocking and rolling at this point. But
And there was a cleaning in that time too, right?
Yes, thank you,
Yep.
Ken, that's exactly right. We took the opportunity to really do a thorough cleaning of the water's edge. Our staff does a good job
a great job,
sanitizing in there
yes.
anyway,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
just took some extra steps to
further.
kind of go even further with it since we
Yeah.
had the opportunity to go ahead and do
Absolutely.
that. And so I think that was really good as well that we did that, so.
And with situations like this, it gives us an opportunity to take a look at other areas. You know, right now, just talking about where can we tighten up?
Yeah.
You know, where can we plug those holes,
Yeah,
right, Tom?
That's right.
So those are the kind of things that we've been talking through, is anywhere that we can think of that might be a hole,
Yeah.
let's try to plug it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, that's, the problem is it's so prevalent around us here,
It
around the
is.
community, that we
Yep.
know it's going to leak in here and there. And,
Yep.
you know, the big thing is, like you said, it's just when we identify it, we try and cut it off
We
right
take
there
it,
and
yep.
stop it right there so that it doesn't have a chance to go any further. And sometimes it's easier said than done, but, you know, we've been fairly successful doing that, and I think we've just been blessed as a community, so.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, you know, we're seeing little bits of it. You know, what was it, a couple weeks ago, we had the housekeeping area that we had a couple people that's tested positive there, and we
Right.
kind of did the same thing there and did extra precaution there. We stopped
Absolutely.
cleaning in the apartments and the homes, which I know it's a question, I'm going to answer it now, but we're going to start that back up again on Monday. So, because we feel comfortable that we can go ahead and do that now. But the
Right.
big thing about that is, and here's the lesson to be learned: do not be in those homes when the housekeeping staff comes in there. Do not be in there. Let's not take any chances. You should not be in the homes. And I know we've said that it's okay to stay in one of the rooms and not have the housekeeping staff go in there, and that's fine, but I'm not even crazy about that. I just think you ought to leave your home, honestly. And when the housekeeping staff's in there cleaning your home, just be out of there and let them just do what they got to do. They're wearing the gloves, they're wearing the masks. Let them do what they got to do and then get out of there and then not have any chance for you to be able to come into contact with the staff members. So that's still my suggestion on how we should do that. But we are allowing this to happen. I know Cindy's looking at me like, are you changing things on me? I'm not changing things, Cindy. But it's still
But
a
our
recommendation.
preference, yes. Yeah, preference would be that you're not in
Preference
there
are there
at
is that
all.
you're not there.
Right, right.
So.
We know there's a few circumstances where
You may
people
not
have
be
some
able to do it.
medical reasons they
Yeah,
can't
that's right.
leave, but there's very few of those situations, I think. Just some other things to, health reminders, if you're not feeling well.
Yes.
So, like I said, we take a look at all of our protocols, and one of the things we've kind of run across is, I think some folks don't realize, when you're sick, we don't want you coming out of your home to even go pick up a meal.
No. Or
Stop
mail
over to
or
see
any
your
of that stuff.
neighbor and say, hey, when you're sick, please don't be coming out to interact with other people. Don't go to the wellness area. If you are sick, and maybe it's just a cold, and it's nothing else, still, any kind of germs right now, all
Yeah.
that does is weaken anybody's immune system.
Yeah.
And we have to be so careful between now and vaccine time. Second
Yes.
vaccine, we have to keep everybody at their best level possible.
Yeah, we're only
So
2.5
any kind of sickness right now.
We're only 2.5 weeks away
That's right.
from the
That's
vaccine
right.
at this point. So we need to keep people safe.
Right.
And we just don't want that to be the
Right,
case.
right. If you're sick, order your meals, but don't come out and make reservations. If you're not feeling well, just eliminate that activity with anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's a
And
good
Lisa,
thing.
do we dare say, because this question has come up, if you have a spouse and they're feeling okay and you're not, do not send them out to pick up your meals. Do not send them out to get your mail. Yeah, they could very well, you could be positive and they could be positive and not even know it because they could be
Right,
asymptomatic at that
right.
point. And we've had that happen now on a couple occasions.
Absolutely.
And so what does that do? Well, that puts unknowing residents at risk, and sometimes then they have to quarantine because of that. So,
Right.
we just got to be careful. I mean,
Right.
if you're not feeling 100%, please don't chance it by coming out.
Yep.
And above all else, do not eat in one of the restaurants. If you are feeling any symptoms at all, please do not go in and eat in the restaurant. Because when you take that mask down, if you're not feeling well, you're giving it to the people that you're eating with. You could be giving it to a staff member who's there waiting on you. Please, please, please play the caution card at this point.
Yep.
And make sure you don't go in and eat. You know what, I mean, I get a little less upset if they go and get mail or whatever, but even then, you're still running against somebody in the community who's walking by you, like, oh, hey, how are you doing?
Right.
And they stop and talk to you for a couple minutes.
Right.
That may be all it takes. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't be too careful right now.
No.
All right, I think we've plugged that enough,
Yeah.
Lisa, so.
River Landing Clinic, our clinic here. There will be a memo coming out soon. It'll be sometime this week, just to kind of remind people of some of the things we've been doing and just kind of tightening up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Obviously, a clinic sees sick people at times. So that's an area just kind of reviewing and see if we can tighten that up even more. We have been saying appointments only. But guess what happens? People decide to walk on down and see if they can get an appointment. Well, we are saying you have to call to make an appointment. Don't just show up in the clinic. And the reason for that, you may have COVID-type symptoms, and now the entire waiting room has been exposed to whatever that might be. So call us. Call for an appointment. They'll do telephone triage. So they're going to ask you some things just to already find out what you might want to be coming to the clinic for. A lot of this we can do right over the phone and determine next steps.
Yeah.
Because it may be we're going to send you for a test, or it might be something else. But we want to do all that way to protect everyone that's in the community that might be in that clinic waiting room.
Yeah.
So as a reminder, it's appointment only, and we're going to hold tight to that. And I know that sounds mean, and you know I don't like to be mean. But we're doing it just for protection of everybody. So if you come down there and walk in, we're going to ask you to go home and make an appointment. I know that seems silly, but we have got to be really careful right now, and that waiting room could be a potential.
Yeah,
It could
absolutely.
be. So just let's protect each other on that. If you're sick, don't come walking into the clinic. Call us. So the phone triage, that works great. Just trying to limit the number of people also sitting in the waiting room. So when we can make appointments, we can schedule that so there's not 5, 6 people waiting there. We'll schedule it so it's spaced apart enough that you should not have lots of people in that waiting room.
Right.
You know, the clinic does great with cleaning protocols and all that good stuff, but still, we just have to limit the numbers of people like that.
Again, this is just taking the extra precautions.
It
Trying to
is.
keep you safe and keep the staff safe down there and keep everybody
Absolutely.
involved safe.
Yep, for sure. So thank you for your help on that. Vaccine clinic reminders, like you said, Tom, it's coming up.
Yes.
February 8th, 9th, and 10th.
So excited.
So-
I was on the COVID call today, and Scotia was talking very excitedly because their second one is next Thursday.
Wow, that's great.
So if you remember, they were December 31st, I think, was what their
Mm-hmm.
date was for their first one. So we're all very excited that
Yeah,
that
that's
they're going to be
awesome.
hitting their second one, and we're going to be hitting our second one shortly thereafter that. So
Yep, that's great.
speaking about staying safe, how about staying safe by driving the speed limit around the campus?
And what's the speed limit again, Tom?
I think it's 18, Lisa.
18
And you
miles
know what?
per
It
hour.
hasn't changed in 18 years. 18 years,
look at that.
18 miles an hour. You know what? If you all do well with this, when we get to 19 years, we might go to
we gonna
19
bump it?
miles an hour.
So will we do this each year?
Well, sure, because I'll be retired by the time it gets to a point where it gets really bad, right?
Life in the fast lane.
Boy, that could be going fast. couldn't it?
Yeah. I don't know about going up every year, but we can talk
No.
about it, so.
We also have another exciting addition to the campus today,
Yes?
up at the putting green.
Yeah.
And we did talk about this, I think, back in November or December.
Yes.
That we have a big clock coming,
Yes.
a nice big old clock out on the golf course.
Yes.
It is officially here today, and it's being set up right now, so we couldn't get a picture of it.
Right.
But as soon as we have a picture, we will put it on camera merge, or if you're out walking, you'll see it now. It's up by the putting green.
Yeah, and
So,
it's just right
it's a
across
nice
from where the
addition.
clubhouse is, so.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's
So
absolutely
it's a golf clock. That means it doesn't actually count every minute, right?
No, it doesn't count every stroke.
Well, I was going to say, if it's a golf clock, it can't count everything, because we don't do that
No,
around here.
That's right, absolutely.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, a mulligan for 12:30. We'll go right on to 12:31, whatever.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredibly beautiful addition to the community. So I think it'll be really
Absolutely.
good. Yeah.
Okay, we have lots of questions
Yes, let's
today.
get to the questions.
Okay. If I test positive for COVID, am I required to go stay in Wingfoot in the COVID wing?
No.
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
Yes, yep,
Yeah, the answer is no, you don't. The only time we would actually end up having you go over there is if you're unable to manage the symptoms that you have. Then we might have you go over there just so we can help you out with it.
absolutely.
So-
Otherwise, you quarantine right in your home.
But honestly, you're better off staying at home.
You are.
Unless you're in that
Right,
particular
right.
situation. So,
Yep,
so yes, that's a good question though.
yep. Okay, let's see. Did all the COVID positive residents and staff get the vaccine? And yes, they
The answer is yes.
did all get the vaccine, but remember what we've been saying, that first vaccine,
Yeah.
you're not protected yet. It takes up to the 28th day to even be at 70%, and then another week or two after the second vaccine to be at 95%.
Yeah.
So really, when these folks started, feeling things, it would have been almost vaccine week.
Yeah.
That they would have been feeling this.
Well,
It
yeah.
starts then.
Some of the symptoms we know started Thursday
Sure.
last week, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
yeah, so we know that.
Yeah, so this is a good reminder that you can still get it right now, even though you had the first vaccine.
Yeah.
So
It-
we are not protected yet.
It's not 100% as soon as they give you the shot.
No, it's
So-
not. It's not. Is it advisable to visit family and friends that do not live at River Landing?
No, it's not. I mean, look, we know that residents are still going to try and see their families because and we get that and we
Yep,
understand that.
yep.
Yeah, we're not going to beat this into the ground here. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been telling you that just be careful if
Right,
you're going to do
right.
that. We still have a limitation here of the two visitors
Mm-hmm.
per resident. That's all going to stay in place for now. Nothing that's changing.
Right.
But I think our reminder here is that we're getting so close to that second vaccine
Right,
that
right.
don't take any chances.
Exactly.
Don't take any
Exactly.
chances. So
Yep. If my spouse is sick, should I stay home as well?
please stay
Yes.
home. I think we talked about
Yes.
that already, but please stay home.
Yep, but that was a
Yeah.
good question.
And you know,
I get that.
I can see where one spouse would say, I'm just not feeling 100%, and the other spouse said, well, I'm going to go down to the wellness center and work
Sure,
out, or I'm
sure.
going to go do something else. And
I get it.
And that's where they don't think about the fact that they've already been exposed and
Right,
that they already
right.
could be positive as well without even knowing it. And
Yep,
That's
exactly.
so easy for that to happen. So
Sure
just
it is.
keep that in
Sure
mind.
it is.
If you're a couple especially, keep that in mind.
Yep. We addressed this one already, Tom. Will housekeepers start cleaning our homes again next week?
Yep.
We said yes.
Yep.
Starting on Monday, the 25th.
Now,
Okay,
there's always a caveat.
Sure.
We don't know what tomorrow or Friday's going to bring,
that's
or this
true.
weekend. I
That's
mean,
true.
if we always try and protect what we say in saying that as the things are right now, it's going
Right.
to start again on Monday. But
right.
we've grown smart enough to know over the 10 months here that we've been doing COVID that
Yep.
things can change in a heartbeat. And
Absolutely.
just like last night,
Right.
we had to quickly close
We had
the,
no intention of closing
Nope.
until it came to be.
so,
There's a word for that, now.
Oh, what is it?
It's plandemic.
pandemic.
Oh,
It's when your plans just go awry.
oh,
Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately. So, thank you, pandemic. That's the word of the day,
okay, that's a good
pandemic.
one. Okay, one more COVID-related one, and then I have two that are not COVID-related.
Okay,
Does River Landing still use the disinfectant in the common areas? This is a add-on question,
Okay.
Tom.
Thank you. I was
So-
gonna say, I don't see that on my
I had a
agenda.
last-minute call from a resident who wanted to know this question. And yes, we still use the gun, which we've talked about from the beginning, which we go around and spray common areas, door handles, all those kind of things. We do that multiple times in a day. And then we also have a COVID Purell service disinfectant. So the gun, they say it's a 1-minute kill, so after it's been on there for a minute. And then the Purell one is a 30-second kill. So all of this we use in our common areas, our wellness areas, and our dining venues.
Yeah.
So that's what you see our team using when they're spraying off the tables and all that good stuff. So
If you
yes,
want-
we do still use those.
if you want more specifics other than that, you need to call Joe Rojas,
Yes,
right?
he'd be glad to talk to you.
Joe is so well-versed in this stuff.
is.
And
And he loves this kind of stuff.
I was just going to say, he loves to talk about this kind of stuff, so you're not going to upset him if you want to talk about it.
I called him before the show just to get some statistics on it, and he could have sat with me another 15 minutes.
Well, that's why we were late getting
But I
started.
told him I had to go, so. Okay, so now I'll go back to the non-COVID ones, and
Okay.
thank you to this resident who sent some non-COVID questions. I noticed that Bloom has cleaned up the area within the construction fence by the healthcare. Does that mean the fence will be coming down soon? I live up so high I can see inside the fence. So they have a secret view in there.
Bird's eye view, right?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're giving us that space back. Temporarily, they're giving us the space back, but depending on when we start renovation again, and what we're doing from a renovation standpoint, they may need to take some of that back again. But they felt like in the meantime, if they could
Sure.
give up the space and we could use it, so we're using it.
They're teasing us with it, is what you're saying, Tom.
I think that's right, yes.
Oh, but someday we'll have it back for good.
We will.
So, one more. Are there any future plans for charging stations for electric vehicles for those of us who live in the big house, in quotes?
Big house.
The main building here.
Yeah, we had planned as part of the hybrid buildings to go ahead and put in a charging station there, and actually there is one. I don't know if anybody's ever really gone up to look at it or not, but right in front of, let's see, that's the Turnberry building. There's right on the, I guess if you're looking at the back of the building, it's on the left-hand side, you'll see it's almost like a little gas pump that's there, and that's a charging station. So there's two opportunities, I think, for you to be able to pump electric into your car if you have an electric car. So
Charge them up.
charge them up. So
And that's open to anybody. It's not a parking spot. It's truly two
That's
charging
correct.
stations.
That's correct.
Yep.
And so, I don't know that there's a whole lot of use of that. I'm honest with you, I'm not up there enough to really kind of to gauge that. But,
Right.
we'd always said that if there was more demand, that we could always add them in the future.
Sure.
And so we're open to that possibility if we need to.
But if you do live in the big house, you could go up there and charge your car. It's open to anybody
Yeah,
on
you could.
campus.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and you could dine in the clubhouse while you're waiting for your
Sure
car to
you could.
charge. I don't know. You can come up with something like that.
There you
So.
go.
Okay. Whew.
That's a lot.
That was it for questions today.
Wow.
I know.
That was a lot.
How are we doing? Oh, we're doing good time-wise.
Yeah, we got another hour yet. We don't have our little thing anymore, so,
No,
we
don't.
can.
I'm trying
Somebody-
to think of another question.
Somebody took the time thing away from me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think because we were going way past an hour,
I
so
think
we
that's
stopped
probably
them.
why. Neil Shields would like to see it come back, by the way.
Oh, he would?
He said he likes to see me tap it.
I heard that somebody took it, the sand in there and went and dumped it back out in the sand trap. Is that not true?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think anybody did that, but you
You
never
know, I
know.
will say that we should have had it today, because the question for the trivia was about a soap opera.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I know it was a radio soap opera, but what were the Days of Our Lives? Which one was it that they had, the hourglass that they used to show up there all the time?
Yeah.
Days
Days of Our Lives.
Like
You're right.
sands in an hourglass or something like
Yes.
that.
See?
Yes. Yep. It would have been good to have it today.
Yes, it would have. Nope, we don't have it, though. Somebody took it.
Well, yeah, somebody took it, and I think they put cement in it. That cement doesn't really have a tendency to drip through very well. Oh.
Well, time can get stuck on you, can't it?
Yes, it feels like it has.
It really does.
Yes.
Ken, we don't know, we didn't even get a chance to talk to you to see if you had anything you wanted to share today or not. So we'll leave it up to you if you have a couple things you wanted to share.
Yeah, we do. Somebody was telling me the other day that after the virus is over, that she still wants to distance from some people. I won't tell you who said that to me. I think it was just a joke.
That was
Yeah.
my wife that said
Yeah,
that.
that's what it was.
She was talking to you about it.
Don't try this at home. Don't try this at home. Somebody sent me a cartoon that said, teach your kids about taxes, eat 30% of their ice cream, which might be a pretty good idea,
It probably
actually. Yeah,
would.
yeah. Sort of prepare them for the day,
Yes.
And then someone else sent me this one. Alcohol may not solve your problems, but neither will water or milk. I don't know. Well, anyway, I have a few cartoons for us.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Assuming that my and assuming my eyes are good enough to read it. Now, if you notice, this fellow out here is watering the lawn, and he's got his pants down. And I'm going to have to step up here because I didn't run off a copy of the thing. But it says, your father says he'll stop wearing his pants like that when you do. So it's like, here's the kid with his pants down.
Yes, yes.
Which I think that's actually brilliant if you want to change your kid's mind about something.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
true.
Do that kind of stuff.
That's true.
Okay, here's the next one.
So what if you do that, Ken, even though your kids don't wear their pants down? Is that a problem? Like this?
Yes, then there's a nice place those people gather in the state. They'll take you to it. Yeah.
I'm starting
Okay.
to see a theme here, Ken.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it's an underwear
People
thing.
do not have their clothes on.
This is, we usually shop in the comfort of our own home, but the bloody computer crashed. So the thought here is, yeah, if you're not able to do online shopping, dress for Publix places if you're going to go in.
That
People
must
have
be in the UK, because that's where the variant thing is, virus is, right?
Yes. Yes,
People have forgotten how to dress.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully you can see it, but this is a cat at the pearly gates, and there's St. Peter, and he's handing him a card that's got 9 things, and St. Peter's punching him
Oh, my gosh.
for 9 lives.
Huh.
And this is a reminder to all of us that we don't have but one.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, take care with the one you have. Okay, this says, patient seems reluctant to get his prostate checked. I don't know if you can see, but there's a vice on the guy's backside. Do you see it? Okay.
Cindy loves that kind of humor.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is, Willis has kindly agreed to sum up our current financial position. You can see there's a fan in there and manure. He's got a hand of manure he's about to throw into the fan.
Ken, I don't understand that right.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, something that hits the fan.
Yeah, I wish I would have to our pandemic condition or something like that.
Those are good. Those are really good.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep,
you.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, Lisa, birthdays.
Okay, birthdays.
A lot of them.
Let's see if I'm right with them today. You are. I am. Okay. So Monday, we had Vera Johnson. Tuesday, we had Ken Frazier, Martha Caldwell, and Maxine Foster.
Ah,
Today, we have Elaine Drum, Helen Cook, Jane Horn, and Karen Eliason.
wow.
So lots of good birthdays.
Sure is.
Thursday, tomorrow, Betty Averett, Mary Lou Murphy, Rose Danella, and Walt Pilcher.
Correct.
Friday, Jack Byerly, Glendora Glenn, and Virginia Caress. Saturday, Scotty Tarbell, Ann Hansen, and Betsy Irwin.
Wow.
Sunday, we have Carol Ingram. So lots of great birthdays.
Wow, happy
all through
birthday,
the
all of them.
weekend.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes.
Every day's covered, looks
Yep.
like, too, right? So,
For staff, Monday we had Bill Kearney in Golf and Grounds. Tuesday we had Ray Carroll, Golf and Grounds. Today, Bill O'Donnell in EVS. Thursday, Jackie Van in EVS and Kevin Essick in Maintenance,
yeah.
our director. Friday we have Raheem in Dining and Courtney Bless in Wellness. And then we have none this weekend. So a lot of great birthdays.
And just, I'm laughing because Raheem has a last name that would be hard to pronounce, so,
Yes.
Lisa
I'd
decided
just
not
rather
to-
not embarrass myself.
well, sometimes it's better not to butcher up her name too
That's
much,
true.
right?
That's
So,
true. Because that's embarrassing to do to people. So
Yes, that's right.
yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
So do we have a trivia winner today?
We do. We have a couple. We have a couple.
A couple
Like
of
a
winners?
winner, but they're a couple.
They're a couple, okay.
Yes,
So they
so
can
they
split the bottle
responded
wine.
together.
Okay.
So
Are they going to have to split it?
They're going to have to split the
Okay,
bottle of
okay,
wine.
okay.
Okay? So the trivia question from Eric Stallnacker was, what is the rest of the title to the following noontime radio soap opera? Lorenzo Jones and his wife Belle.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Now, I wouldn't have known that.
Is that the
I
same
would
bell
not.
as Beauty and the Beast? I
I
wonder.
don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't have the E on the end, so I
Oh,
don't
that's
think
right.
so.
Oh, good point.
So the winners today are Hob and Carol LeBlanc.
Ah, very good.
So congratulations. Yes, this bottle of wine,
2014 Merlot,
There you go.
that was a good year.
or a Merlot, as we call it in Texas.
But really, I did not know there was radio soap operas.
I did not
I really
either.
hadn't heard of that, so
No.
that was a good question. Next week, the river churns will be on Wednesday.
Yes.
We're trying to stick to Wednesdays
Yep.
until we hit vaccine time, then
Yeah,
it'll be Thursday.
We'll switch to Thursday that day, but that's okay.
So,
That's good. That's good.
Now, I saw something on Care Merge that said that today we were going to have an acknowledgement of the 400,000 COVID deaths in our country during our show today. Are we going to do that?
that's right, that's right.
I wrote a prayer
Thank you.
Yes.
in case we're going to do that.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's pray together. God of mercy, we cannot really comprehend 400,000 dead during this pandemic so far. But now the loss will surpass the number we lost in the Great War. There are millions of us who have lost family members and friends. And in most cases, we were not able to be with our loved ones when they died. And they did not have the comfort of our presence. Deliver us from this evil, O God. Help us do our very best to love our neighbors and ourselves in these days. Help us give comfort to the sick and sorrowing. Help us share the hope that we have in you. Help us persevere until this virus no longer threatens our lives and our way of life. We are grateful to live in a community of love and support. Hear this, our prayer of hope that we offer in your name. Amen.
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 Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. You know what? I think we're going to end on that. I have a really good joke, but we'll save it for next week. So I think that was a great way to end. So Wednesday afternoon.
We don't want you to be in that number. Be safe.
Amen. Yeah. We've already lost enough, both here in the community and,
Right.
across this world, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. So, okay, well, with that, we want to just tell you how much we love you all, and stay safe, and we'll be back with you next Wednesday. Love you.